separates the two men. Deadly, accurate punching by Robinson. Ray scoring on the inside as Basilio holds on. Ray is not letting up. Basilio is unable to counter against this brilliant boxing master. There's the bell ending this great battle. Minutes later, when the decision is announced, Ray Robinson is once again middleweight champion of the world. An incredible 5th time.
The next morning, the news is heralded around the world. Sugar Ray Robinson has won the middleweight championship a 5th time, an incredible accomplishment.
Sugar, how do you feel this morning? You got any aches or pains?
Many of them. Every bone, over 100 of them all over my body. Feel like 10 men beat me up last night.
Ray, after the fight last night, Carmen said he could have gone 15 more rounds. How did you feel after 15?
Well, I'll say this. If he could have went 15 more, he wouldn't have won them with me.
Ray, what did you do differently this time that you apparently didn't do in September?
I won the middleweight championship of the world.
Sugar, what would you like to do most right now?
Go home and play with my son and stay home and let my wife baby me.
Ray says he wants to be babied. What do you plan to do about that?
As much as I can and as often as I can.
Cook his favorite foods and so forth?
Of course. The best food, the best of everything for this sugar daddy.
The retired undefeated heavyweight champion, Rocky Marciano, was thrilled by the Robinson-Basilio war and had these comments.
Did you notice how great Robinson looked in the early rounds? Just like the Robinson of old. Classic boxer, and in little Carmen Basilio, he fought the roughest guy in the division in the last 20 years. It was just a great fight, a natural, the boxer against a slugger, you know, like Dempsey and Tunney. Robinson, in the twilight of his career, fought his greatest fight. He had to plan every move. His great experience won him this fight, and probably his last great fight.
Ray plays stickball with the neighborhood kids and doesn't receive much encouragement from the local fans. Ray, always warm-hearted and partial toward children, gives freely of his time when youngsters are concerned. It doesn't appear from this exhibition that Ray is going to be called up by any major league club, but a final hit saves the day. Robinson arrives in Los Angeles in the spring of 1959, and throngs of fans turn out. A rumor has been spreading that Robinson's trip to California is to finalize negotiations for Ray to meet heavyweight champion of the world, Floyd Patterson.
I think the last time I saw you, you were fighting Bob Olson out here.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
we want to welcome you to Los Angeles again, and I know most fans are interested right now in that big offer that broke the other day, that $1 million offer for you to fight heavyweight champion Floyd Patterson. Have you got any comment on that?
Well, I'm here to see Mr. Weintraub about the proposition. We're going to try to complete negotiations while I'm here. See just what we can do.
All plans for the super fight of champions evaporate when Sweden's Ingemar Johansson, in black trunks, wins the heavyweight title from Patterson. In later years, Johansson gives his impressions of Sugar Ray.
Well, Sugar Ray Robinson, I have seen several times, and he's about the best boxer I ever seen. He was everything. He was fast. He had a good left hand. And the way he was moving in the fight was absolutely enormous. And you know, he liked when he could clinch the guys up to the rope, and every punch he threw away was a knockout punch. You know.
Robinson arrives in Boston in January 1960 to complete training for his next world title fight. Boston's flashy Paul Pender is the challenger, and Pender's hometown fans do some scouting for their hopeful.
Champion Robinson in white trunks challenge of Paul Pender in Dock. In round one, neither man had an edge. Here in round two, Robinson begins to press the attack. The highly partisan Boston fans pulling for Pender to wrest the crown from the champion. Pender attempting to avoid that rapier left-hand jab. Paul is boxing very carefully and appears content to outmaneuver the champion. In rounds 2 through 14, Pender relentlessly continued to jab and move. While not exciting, the tactic placed most of the stress on the legs of the 39-year-old Robinson. Here in the 15th and final round, ringside reporters have Paul ahead in the scoring. There's the final bell. The Boston fans go wild, feeling their man has won. When the verdict is announced, Paul Pender is the new middleweight champion of the world.
Once again, Robinson is a former champion, but not Floyd Patterson. In 1960, with one crushing left hook, Floyd becomes the first man in history to regain the heavyweight crown. A Robinson-Pender rematch will follow this Patterson triumph.
Boston, June 10th, 1960. Middleweight champion Pender in dark trunks, Robinson in white. Prior to tonight's fight, to no one's surprise, Pender stated his fight plan will be to jab and run, exactly as he did in their first meeting. A quick flurry by Robinson, and Pender holds on. In rounds 2 through 14, Pender's calculated tempo remains the same. Here in the closing moments of the fight, Pender appears confident that he has won again. The final bell. When the judge's decision is announced, Paul Pender wins a very close 15-round decision over Sugar Ray Robinson to retain the middleweight title.
The fall of 1960 brings on the Rome Olympic Games and another world champion to be. Young Cassius Clay of Louisville, Kentucky wins the light heavyweight gold medal. Boxing authorities who observed Clay's victory saw a distinct resemblance to the boxing style of Ray Robinson. The middleweight championship is passed from Pender to Gene Fulmer. Fulmer, in black trunks, defends the title against former champion Carmen Basilio. Fulmer's knockouts impress everyone. He's come a long way since being stopped by Robinson in 1957. March 1961, Robinson challenges Fulmer in the Las Vegas Convention Center.
Middleweight champion Fulmer took round 1. Robinson boxed well to gain a slight edge in round 2. Here in round 3, Fulmer is looking for an opening. A devastating overhand right crashes off Robinson's jaw and staggers Ray. Fulmer throwing bombs at Robinson as Ray vainly tries to avoid the ponderous rights and lefts. Gene wants to end it right here in round 3. The bell ends the round, but Fulmer wants to continue and must be restrained by the referee and Ray's cornerman. Fulmer took round 4 with hard right hands to the body. Here in round 5, it's still early, and anything can happen when these two start throwing bombs at each other. A great combination by Robinson, and Fulmer covers up for the first time in the bout. Robinson came on strong and won rounds 6 through 10. Fulmer came back to carry the last 4 rounds. Here at the end of the bout, it's anyone's fight. The referee tries to separate the two men. The final bell ends this 15-round war. The two men congratulate each other on a great fight. Gene Fulmer is awarded a 15-round split decision over former 5-time champion Sugar Ray Robinson.
1964. While fighting occasionally, Robinson has been assisting challenger Cassius Clay in preparation for a title fight with champion Sonny Liston. Young Cassius gets in his licks at the formidable Liston by screaming his allegiance to Robinson.
You tell Joseph about in Mississippi that I'm here with Sugar Ray. Joe Louis is flat-footed and Sonny Liston is flat-footed. Sugar Ray and I are too pretty down. We can't beat you.
The Clay Liston fight saw the birth of a great new champion. Throwing torrid combinations and boxing brilliantly throughout, young Cassius demolished the ugly bear, Sonny Liston. The fight was over in 7 rounds. After Clay's victory, Robinson and the new champion are received by the astonished press.
He can't go 1 round. He might get him in 2. He's pulling his head back. He holds his hands too low while I'm still over here with him. 5th round, I couldn't see. He had a little